Welcome to Game Pass News, recorded Wednesday, January 5th, 2022. It's the first podcast of the year. Shut. What the? Yeah. All right. Well, are you serious? I mean, I swear. You get a VR and it's like, what are we going to be called? VR Pass News? No, that can't happen. Oculus? I don't know what's going on here. Well,
I mean,
obviously,
Octodad.
Sean got a toy for Christmas. What'd you get there, Sean? What is that thing?
So I got spoiled big time this year by Mrs. Abbott. She got me the Oculus Quest 2. It has literally been my plaything for the last 2 weeks. And I don't know, I've tried all the different VRs. I've tried Hive, I've tried PS VR, I've tried Nintendo's attempt with the Labo.
Well, that's a
There it
VR, I guess, yeah.
is. And all I can say is for freedom of playing, an amazing machine. It's just, yeah. And the fact that when I was doing this earlier, I was laid on the bed. I was watching my friend, Super King Andy, the guy that does the speed runs with Aliens, Isolation, and stuff. I was literally laid on the bed the other day watching his stream in VR. It's just laid there. Like, it's really cool, and
That's pretty impressive.
because I watched Seth earlier from the All In as well. And when it blows it up, you can literally you have to move your head to look from corner to corner. And so Seth did an enlargement of his beard, and I could literally almost lick his beard. And yeah, it was just unreal.
You could hug Seth's beard. That's the best in the world. Seth, there you go, man. That's what you can do. I was trying to
But
find
yeah,
the game, not the game. I'm sorry, the book that I read. Oh, The History of the Future by Blake J. Harris. Very good book about the complete inception of the Oculus from its start to when Facebook took over, basically.
yeah,
So, a very good book if
it
you
has
haven't
got,
read.
yeah, the predecessors to the Quest have kind of all led. I mean, it's a very basic system. It runs on Linux. Um, but yeah, that's as much as I know. It runs on Linux. I don't know the full operating system. I haven't had a good time to get into it and play with it, but there is ways of side launching stuff, so you can get the full Discord app launched onto there. I've already signed up for Oculus developer mode, so I can do bits and pieces. I can kind of design the living room in the whole. So when I put the headset on, it's like I'm in my own living room, but I can paint the walls in different. You can eventually start to paint the walls in different colors, and kind of as you
Amazing.
walk around the living room, you can map the sofa out, and you can map I can map the TV out behind me and the cupboards, and so you don't ever punch anything.
That's
But so far, I've managed to punch a light shade. I punched a light shade in the lodge that we stopped at for New Year. That was funny. I was trying
uh,
to throw a grenade and punched a light shade.
you blew up a light shade. Sounds about right. Yeah, so, ever since Christmas, all I've been getting is pictures and videos of Sean with his fancy VR, which by the way, I still to this day, I've never done a VR type thing, which is funny. You didn't know you were getting this, and we just chatted about this not too long ago about how we thought Xbox should try to figure something out. So,
Yeah, I was looking to buy this in the sales at the beginning of the year, and Christmas morning, Lindsay started passing me presents. She was like, "Oh, open this first." And it's there was two big boxes. I was like, "What on earth have you got me?" Because they're big boxes. And we had a limit of we apparently made a limit of £50 each for Christmas, and I
oh
was
wow.
like, "Yeah." I was like, "What on earth can you have got that's that big? That's less than?" I was Anyway, when I opened it, I was absolutely gobsmacked. So yeah,
There you were, and you were
needless,
like, "Here's
needless.
your 50 pound gift because I followed our policy."
No, I spent more than that, but I'm really annoyed because one of the gifts that I got was a ring, and one of the stones was missing in the ring,
Oh yeah.
and it's an online company, and I am struggling to get hold of anybody to do anything. So I'm really annoyed at the moment for that.
Are
But
they in
yeah,
America?
other than that, no, they're in the UK.
Oh,
Objects company. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed by that because it's kind of it's been sat in the box. She hasn't been able to wear it. She's on the necklace that I got that went with it. But yeah, other than that, I'm a bit of a loss. So she's kind of watching me play with the Oculus and everything. She's like, "I can't wear my ring yet. What are you doing?"
okay. I'm back. Sorry.
That's good. So how about you? How was the holidays for you? Because this is this we were just discussing before we came on air. This is the the first time we've really spoken face to face per se,
Yeah.
since just before Christmas. So
Yeah, it was. I've had a great holidays. It was fantastic. I think most everybody knows I got a PowerA controller thing, so that when Sean and I are doing when you and I are doing let's plays together, I don't have to like run and get batteries like I seem to have to every time we do stuff. So that'll be great. Um, and then I got the Stream Deck, which is fantastic. You and I had absolutely opposite experiences at Christmas because when my wife handed me the box, having no idea how small it was, I was like, because I really thought this thing was bigger in person. So when my wife handed me the box, I was like, oh, because you could tell like this was her big gift. You know, this was like the final like whatever. And I was like, oh, I didn't get the Stream Deck. That's a bummer. I was really hoping for that because it was just so small. And I was like, oh, I did. Look at this teeny little thing. So loving that. And we've had
so small and all the power.
yeah, I know, right? And the kids are back to school, and I'm happy about that. So far, so good over here. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Logan and Emily went back today. Jaya still hasn't gone back and isn't going back, as far as I'm aware, tomorrow because she was in the US for the holidays. So she flew out on the 15th of December. She flew out there. We picked her up when we came home on Monday, which was the 3rd. And she still hasn't had her PCR result back yet from flying. So because of it being the bank holidays, kind of struggled big time for her to get it sent out and stuff. So until she gets that back, she can't go to school. And school are now saying that she's got to have a positive, she's got to have a negative lateral flow test before she can go into school as well. So if she gets a result back tomorrow, she's got to go do a lateral flow and then go back Friday.
wow, that's crazy. Yeah, and you know, I mean, not only was she in America, but she was in like Florida. So you know,
yeah, they've already had the news broken to them that somebody on the plane was tested positive.
ah, great, yeah, yeah, that's not surprising, but yeah. But other
so
than
far,
that,
she's been doing lateral flows, and so far she's fine.
cool. But other than that, if you can tell, my voice is a little off. I'm a little sick today, something or other. So I'm gonna try not to do anything gross and jump off stream if I do have to do anything gross. And I'm on the last day of a juice cleanse, so there you go. You know, I mean, it's a fantastic week, Sean. I'm glad to be here with you. And
so if you cough too hard, you could.
You never know what's gonna happen, man.
We could have chocolate, as Abby said. Was it Bruce that said that? Bruce.
Yeah. Mr. Hambone Johnny is on with us. Thank you so much for joining.
Hey, you guys.
And yeah, I mean, Hambone can attest. I actually jumped off of our. Let's see if I can make this bigger. I'm gonna have to really try to work on this. We were trying to be cool and have our text in our chat, okay? But it didn't really work out. It needs a background or something. We'll work on that. So it won't be so hot this time, but we're gonna get there, folks. And he was on with me when I was playing the pedestrian, which we'll talk about later. And like, I don't know, my sinuses just started to act up, and then I started to do nasty things on air, and I was like, all right, it's time to go. See you later. Gotta be gone. Have a nice day. So anyways, enough about all this stuff that nobody cares about. Let's talk some top stories. First off, Hambone and I already chatted about our New Year's resolution. I'm going to play more games, which I already have. I've beaten 3 games so far. Some of those may have been in last year. But either way, 3 games. At least 2 this year-ish. Okay, whatever. Let's not do the math. How about you, Sean? Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I'm going to try go back and complete the games. I'm going to go back and complete games that I started. So I need to go and finish Luigi's Mansion, Skyward Sword. Like I played all these games to the last boss and then kind of gone, that's enough. So I kind of need to go back and do that.
Luigi's Mansion's last boss is balls hard, so have fun with that.
I think that's the reason why I dropped off.
Yeah, I bet you did. Yeah, that was no fun.
But I don't know. I need to crack on about being healthier again because I was doing really well up until August, and then like since August I've put 30 pounds back on. So that's my resolution, is to remove that 30 pounds again somehow.
Nice.
So as you'll notice, probably leading up to Christmas, I didn't really do many streams or podcasts without a beer in my hand. I have nothing. I've had a cup of tea while I played Firewatch, and that's about it. But no, I've finished one game so far this year.
Nice. Was it a VR game? It was a VR game, wasn't it? Wasn't
It
it?
was a VR game.
I knew it. The moment I was like, "Wow, what did you?" Oh, I know what it was. Fine, whatever. By the way, Hambone, I'm sporting because
it
I'm
was
not
the only
feeling
thing.
good. I'm sporting your stuff. Blessed, baby. I'm doing the hot tea since I'm not doing the best over here. So there you go.
So yeah, the Oculus was the only thing I took away from with me. The family that we stayed with for New Year, their two sons, one had a PS5 and one had an Xbox Series S. So I played around with both of those as well, but they only had FIFA.
Wow.
That's about as much as I'm going to say. Yeah, they had FIFA.
I
They're
know,
both
I know. I don't
big,
blame you.
big, big
Did
football
you
fans. So
can you on their Series S, can you log into your account and play games or
I
something?
did. I
You
did.
did?
I logged into my account and played a little bit of Forza because he had Forza Horizon 5 installed as well. So
Gotcha. And
I played a bit of that.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, so that's cool. So we'll see how and I it wasn't a New Year's resolution. I started right after the cruise, as you can probably guess why, to try to also lose some weight. So we'll see how we fare. So far I'm about 13 pounds down. So I made it through the holiday season without like gaining all the weight back. So I was happy about that. So there's that.
That's a good effort.
Yeah, that was hard enough as it was. But let's chat about something else. Ubisoft Plus coming to Game Pass, maybe. What do you think? The Verge dropped this news today. Can we say it's coming to Game Pass though, really, or is it coming to Xbox? Like what?
um,
Like what do you think?
it it's coming to your. It's coming alongside your Game Pass subscription, and I imagine if
Yeah.
you want it at an extra price, so EA Play.
Oh yeah, no,
I think
definitely at an extra price. That's been verified.
so. EA Play. I think you paid a little bit extra for it originally, and then that kind of just subsided, and everybody went along with it. I can probably see us doing the same with Ubisoft. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Ubisoft games. I know people are raging for Mass Effect and stuff like that and Rainbow Six, but there isn't a great deal of games that, other than like the Tomb Raiders. Was Tomb Raider a Ubisoft or that Square Enix? Square Enix and
I don't know. I don't think no. I don't think it was an Ubisoft game. I could be
no,
wrong,
but
but I'm
Prince of
I'm
Persia.
fairly
I
certain.
didn't mind those games,
Uh
but
huh. I mean, I'm all in on Ubisoft games, or at least in the sense of like jumping in when there's a game I want to play, like Far Cry 6, and then Valhalla,
yeah,
and whatever. Wait, and then whatever other game you can get that they're dropping that I might be interested in. Riders
yeah.
Republic being
If they
another one
bring
of
some,
them.
see, I'd be annoyed if they brought that because I paid for.
What do you think all these people feel that have just paid for these games? Mr. Hambone Johnny over here bought Metroid Trilogy or Legacy, not Metroid. I'm sorry, Mass Effect Legacy, and then just the next day they were like, or the next week they were like, here it is on Game Pass. Thanks for your great holiday sale. It's funny that brings us into our next one of our other top stories.
Yeah, I mean, if they bring the big games, so if I can play Far Cry 6 for free, is it worth 10, 12 pounds extra a month? Probably. Yeah. And I feel sorry for Hamber and Johnny because if did you buy it physical? Can you not take it back? Does that not work? Or if it was a gift, can you be like,
Can you yeah? Can you be like when cell phones drop now? If you like bought your phone within such a period of time, so close to when the next phone like drops, you can take it back or you can get like a really huge credit on it. You should be able to do that with these games
Yeah.
too. Like listen, I bought this game digital and then you freaking put it on Game Pass. I want like half my money back at least. They're never gonna do that, but that'd be fine.
Yeah.
So
But then, yeah, like you said, that very, very quickly takes us into was the holiday sale a bit of a let's try and help the developers and publishers make some money before we then kind of I kind of want to use an R word, but yeah, rate them for all they're worth.
Yeah, I mean, was it a Santa move or was it a Grinch move? I mean, really, that's the thing. Like, okay, well, congratulations on getting a good deal, but the really good deal would have been just getting it with Game Pass, right? I mean, you own it now, right?
I,
So if it ever goes away, you're a okay. But still, I don't know. I seems weird to me. So yeah.
yeah, I'd have to go back. I'd maybe have to go back through the list and see how many Ubisoft games are on there to kind of figure out, you know, was this a full bait and switch, and were they causing a massive issue in doing this, or just, you know, was this Xbox leading up to it very slowly?
So I'm sorry. I have a daughter who's negotiating what she thinks she should be. Mom's not home yet. She's running late. So I have a daughter that's negotiating what she feels she should have to be able to eat or not eat on her plate that I made for her. So there you go. So I'm sorry. I missed the last part of
All
what
the
you
food.
said. All the food.
So no, all I was saying is I'd have to go back and maybe look at the list of all the games that were in the sale and kind
Yeah.
of pick out the ones that were Ubisoft, and then go, was this Ubisoft's way of, look, put this in your holiday sale. We can make as much money out of this as possible with maybe the terms and conditions for them coming to Xbox Game Pass, and then saying, okay, now the sale's over, tell them the news and see how many pissed off customers we can get.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not think that that's there. There were a lot of that wasn't at least in their mindset. There was a lot of Ubisoft games in that sale. I mean, Valhalla was there. I actually did not pull the trigger on Valhalla just because um I just have so many games and it was just like I don't see where I'm going to ever have time to really put into Valhalla and do all the other stuff that I want to do. So I at the last second decided not to.
Hey, now you could probably stream it a bit like Yakuza. You could do a segmental stream of your gameplay.
Yeah. Now they have not said when this is coming out. So let's give listeners a little bit of information. They have not said yet when in 2022 this is coming out. They have not said what the cost is going to be. It's $15 on the PC right now. And I believe it was Tim who said in our Discord that it's $18 if you want to get it on Stadia right now. So I'm going to be real surprised. And they have already said that this is not included in Game Pass. This is a separate subscription. So I don't even think you're going to need Game Pass to get this subscription. I think this is going to be something totally separate.
Yeah, I mean, Ubisoft used to have an app on the Xbox, and I think that kind of went away because I once went tried to use my Ubisoft Connect for a Ubisoft game I was playing, and it just would not do anything. But yeah, it's a lot. It's like 15, 12, or it'll be £12 if it's 15 in the US. It is quite a lot a month for games where you're not potentially getting like the AAA kind of games like Far Cry.
Yeah, if it's $15, you now are going to be paying. Let's say you don't have a deal on Ultimate, which you certainly can get. You're now paying $30 a month for the two subscriptions, which is technically three because you're getting EA Play, you're getting Game Pass as it is. You're also getting XCloud. You're also now would be getting Ubisoft Plus. I mean, the plethora of games that is now at your fingertips is friggin' ridiculous. Is it worth that amount of money? Yeah, probably. Am I ever going to be
yeah,
able to play that? No, probably not.
yeah. That's the thing that, so if you buy, you're inclined, if you were to buy a game every month for $30. I know games
Uh-huh.
aren't worth that anymore, but if you were to buy a game for $30 every month, you'd be inclined to play that game from start to finish and every which way possible you could, and
Mm,
you'd invest time into it.
yeah.
Now you pay £30 a month and you kind of play, you know, an hour or two of this game and then an hour of this game, and then you play this one for 15 minutes because you're like, meh, and then like by the time you get to the sixth or seventh game, you've completely forgotten what you did in the original. You're like, I can't be bothered to kind of relearn where I was and remember where, and I don't know, too many different, like too many Netflix and Amazon Primes and Disney Pluses all mixed into one game center. So could that ruin the whole idea of this subscription service for gaming?
Yeah, I really think it needs to be all encompassing. If it's not all encompassing, then I don't feel it's going to be there. If you now have a third tier, whatever they want to call them, I'm sure they'll come up, which technically might even be a fourth tier, because what? You have Xbox Live, you'd have Game Pass, you have a Game Pass Ultimate, and then you'd have Game Pass Ultimate Ultimate. I don't know what you want to call it, whatever. Ultimate Ubi.
Ultimate
I don't know.
Ultimate Plus Deluxe.
Yeah, the Game Pass Ultimate Ubi, which is really, don't name it that, Xbox. It would obviously come with a different name. Everybody would give it the other. They just add another B on there. Come on. And so at that point, if you are bundling those services together and you can get the price to at least $24.99, I bet people USD obviously is what I'm talking here. I think people would still view that as a good deal, as a great deal. Once you hit $30 and you start paying $30 a month, I think people are going to get super cringy. If you get it to $19.99, freaking blow the door off, man. That's amazing. But I don't think that's happening.
My phone bill isn't even $30, like £30 a month. But yeah, as Hambone said in the chat, there's a Blanc method is probably the way to go. And I like how that is a copyright or a trademark way.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that for sure. If it drops and they say you get it for £1 for 3 months, I will, for extra £1 a month, I will do that. And on the day of the 3 months, I will cancel it.
Yeah.
Unless there is like a load of games that are there and I'm really enjoying it, then it'll be okay, I'll let it roll over.
I was gonna say, let's be honest. You'll cancel it the day after the 3 months is over. You'll be like, "Oh shit!" and then you gotta go on there and cancel it, and you'll pay for 1 full month because we know how this works. They're like, we got 1 million people to do it. We made our money.
You see, I'm from Yorkshire, and I will literally put a reminder in my calendar 2 days before it runs out.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. So yeah, I think it's great news. I think it's not bad in any form. It's only good. But it will be interesting to see how much of a good deal it is to add that into Game Pass news. Ubisoft has a ton of good games.
Yeah, I mean, if we get a back catalog of games as well, so like if you get Steep on there, which is a good game to have, like you say, Riders Republic, which again, those two games are very similar in the methods of how they play. If you get some of the Prince of Persia games, because they are quite nice, like platform free running style games to play.
Well, I was trying. I should have looked them up, but I didn't look up all of what is in Ubisoft Plus. I know it's all like I can see a back logo here. So you got old Assassin's Creed games, Beyond Good and Evil's in there, Starlink Battle for Atlas, Raymond's in there, all the Far Cry's like to be in there. Ghost Recons, Immortals Phoenix Rising, For Honor. So, the Watch Dogs.
You see, Watch Dogs, that's quite a good one. Yeah, you see, now I'm slowly getting, hey, Simple Monk, for subscribed.
Thank you so much, Simple Monk, for subscribing, man. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate your support. Thanks for hopping in and throwing us some love. That means a ton to us.
Yeah, there's quite a few things as well.
I know, and
Rainbow Six Extraction, which is coming soon. You've got The Crew 2, Uno, because everyone likes to play Uno.
Yeah, that's what I'm jumping on for $10 a month for, or $15, whatever it is. Uno, baby.
Tom Clancy's The Division, Trials Rising, which that's one of the best Trials games that there was.
So we just got 2 Ubi games announced though that are coming to Game Pass, not from the subscription, to Game Pass. Does this mean you think this is it for Ubi games coming to Game Pass? Like why would they be like Ubisoft Plus, boom? But these games you'll get. I think this could be it. That's the downside for Game Passers. You might not get any of these like Extraction Day 1 Game Pass.
No, I don't think they'll be. That's their way of that. Yeah, that's definitely their way of making sure that people play the games, but don't have to. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't have to. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm still looking for the
Okay,
list.
well, you look through the list. If you see anything that really catches your eye, let me know. I will move on. Just so you know, we plan to have a 2022 predictions episode next week. So Sean and I are going to look like fools and be completely wrong, but we're going to shoot the moon and have a lot of fun with it. So join us for that. In the news bulletins, this is a new segment for us. Quick and easy, would just zip right through it. Things. Um,
So the first
oh
one,
yeah,
I'm going to run this. So the first one is
yeah. Go ahead.
for our female gamers, or for male gamers, or trans. You know, what's the correct
I'm gonna
word?
go. I'm gonna go blow my nose here. I'll be right back.
So for those that are gender fluid, um, Xbox are having a like a full on um, I don't know what they call it, the a collaboration with Opie, which is a huge nail polish brand.
For
And they've kind of
everyone. There you
released.
go, Himbo Johnny. For anyone who wants to put on some friggin' nails. I like it.
Well, I was going to say for Drew, but I didn't want to get start throwing the mud between the podcast services again.
Jeez, you're
But
starting again?
yeah, again. But yeah, they're releasing 12 different colors, and they're like kind of aimed at different things. So you've got Quest for Quartz, Susie is my avatar. The pass is always greener, which is quite a good one. You had me at Halo.
You're gonna make me
Achievement
click on this
unlocked.
now, aren't you? Son of a gun.
Yeah, so they've got an array of colors that kind of represent all different parts of the Xbox gaming kind of franchise.
Oh, it's nail polish. Okay, I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah, nail polish,
Okay, I get it now.
and they're
And
all
they
kind of
have.
linked to different um, games and like I said, the pass is always greener. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're
Mm-hmm.
all kind of linked. So,
Yeah. I want the I really like the can't CTRL me. I think that one's good. I also like Noob Berry. Okay, I'm done. I'm not looking at these
nope.
anymore. That's it. I'm done looking at nail polish.
So, yeah. So if you were in the Nintendo Discord as well, you will have seen that I dropped a little bit of information about a cryptic tweet that Xbox Game Pass released today. It looked like an email conversation back and forth with Melissa McGame Pass, kind of congratulating them for 1 million followers on Twitter. It then I looked through the comments and there seemed to have been a huge deep dive into what this cryptic meaning was. A lot of people thought it was just big news coming, which could have been the Ubisoft stuff. But then other people started altering the image that they'd shared, and behind the image that they shared were a load of different codes. Now, those codes all unlocked, and I believe this is just rumor from what I've read, all unlocked 6 months worth of Game Pass for free.
Oh, nice. I was wondering what
So
it
if you
was.
manage So if you manage to kind of get hold of one of those codes and decipher it, because they were quite difficult to decipher, um, you got yourself 6 months free Game Pass, which was quite nice of them to do.
Yeah, I that's cool. I never heard what it was. I did try one just to see if it was legit. I mean, I knew I wouldn't get it, but I wanted to see if it would give me the this isn't a code or it's already been redeemed. And it did give me the already been redeemed. So I was like, "Oh, okay, so they're actual codes. I just don't know for what." So that's cool. Way to sleuth it out.
Yeah, I think there were 12 codes all in all as well. So they've given away, you know, 6 years worth of Game Pass.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Good for them to make 1 million too. They deserve it. I mean, that Twitter account is top notch. I mean, they're a lot of fun to listen to read. Their tweets are always
Yeah.
on point. They can read a room really well. It's never it's never off colored. It's always upbeat. I mean, I really do appreciate Game Pass's Twitter account. It's fun.
To be fair, most gaming platforms' Twitter accounts are hilarious. The back and forth between them sometimes can get quite funny.
Except for Nintendo's. I'm sorry. I know I bag on them a lot in their Twitter account, but I had to deal with it through Dad Crossing for like too long. I just it's so sterile. It's not bad. It's just not fun. It's just very corporate, which is Nintendo. It fits the suit. So, but anyways, so um, I'll take Jeff Grubb says Everwild is a hot mess, which is really a bummer for me. This is the Animal Rare game that was debuted last year, I believe, at E3, if I'm correct. I'm really into it. Still might be. It still probably am. Quite frankly, I'm sure they can turn it around. It's rare, but we knew from some other cryptic comments that it was having some issues. We knew their lead director had left, and Jeff Grubb usually knows what he's talking about, and he says, he says that it is not a joke and that they are in a rough spot. So that's a bummer. That means we probably won't see Everwild uh, anytime soon. Probably not until 2023 at the best at this point, which is a bummer because it looks like it has a really good concept. So hopefully we can see something about that. And then the last one for me, goodbye to Mr. John Madden. This actually dropped right as Hambone Johnny and I were podcasting. I was really bummed I didn't see it until like we shut off the stream. Um, I don't play a lot
Is
of
that
Madden
the
games anymore.
NFL?
Yeah,
That's
NFL.
the
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. He is a coach and probably better known as a commentator. I don't know if he's better known as a commentator, but he's known very well for both those things. Um, and also obviously in our world as the Madden games that I grew up playing forever and a day. I sunk so much time into seasons of those games. I literally don't play them anymore for that particular purpose. Like I just don't want to get that buried in season minutia as I know I would if I got back into them. So goodbye to him. He's an awesome dude. So anything else before we move on to what we've been playing?
Nope, nope. That's. I tried my hardest to find some stuff, any like arguments back and forth between people about information that was out and about, and I couldn't find anything. So yeah, no
Gotcha.
saltiness on Twitter.
No, that's impossible. That is not true. There is always saltiness on Twitter.
Okay, sort of saltiness around Xbox Game Pass and
Fair
and
enough. Fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah, Xbox really does do a good job of trying to keep it clean, and upbeat. So, Xbox Spotlight, Sean. I'm gonna let you go first. You can talk about all your VR games, and no, I'm just kidding. You've been actually playing a lot of stuff that's not VR, so and
Yeah,
VR.
yeah.
So shoot, man, let's hear.
So I'll run through the Oculus stuff first, just because
Okay.
you know I've spoken about it a lot in the Discord. Um, so a lot of you probably watched me play through Super Hot Mind Control. That was on Game Pass. I think it's still on Game Pass. Now that game via the console is awesome. It's very much um, bullet time mode, unless you move the character, then they move at the same time. I think I actually said while I reviewed that and played it that this game would be great in VR. And oh my god, it's amazing in VR. I literally feel like John Wick. There was like I tried to get a video of this while I was away, but for whatever reason, the split screen share on my phone didn't record properly, and so yeah, I get kind of like lost. But there's a section where you start in this lobby, and there's two like Uzis in front of you, and I kind of like pick them up and like do the full Matrix like spin on the spot while taking everybody out, and then like let go of them and then caught them in opposite hands. And you could just there's just so much you can do. It's ace. It's brilliant. The throwing aspect of it was quite difficult to get because there's no weight to what you're doing, so you
Oh
try to
yeah.
gauge when it's like. So that took some time to get, but yeah, I literally like I played it one morning while like everybody was kind of like having breakfast and stuff, and I wasn't feeling breakfast. I thought, okay, I'll just stay out of the way and do this. And I needed to have a shower. I sweated so bad because you are moving, and it's that's the thing about the Oculus that I really like is that because you're not fixed, you no wires hanging off you, you've got nothing kind of anchoring you to one spot. You really do get to move. So, and that goes the same with Beat Saber. Again, when you're having to dodge around stuff, like I tried to play it in a small space and you just couldn't do it. I kept bumping into like a wall or a wardrobe, and I was like, no, you need more room because you were literally like taking 2 or 3 steps left, 2 or 3 steps right, ducking down, and your arms are going all over the place. So they're the two Oculus games that I've been playing the most. I trialed Richie's Plank Walk, which is kind of cool. You get in an elevator, go to the top of a building, and kind of walk out on this plank. And if you fold the towel right, you can kind of imitate a plank.
Okay. Is that the
So
game you
what you do
sent
is
me where there was the little girl playing it? Is that
yeah.
one?
So
That was adorable. That really made
yeah.
me belly laugh.
And we tried it with Logan, and he really enjoyed being on the ground. But as soon as he got high up, obviously too much sensory wise, and like he
Hmm.
tried to rip the thing off his face, and so I was like, okay, cool, we know you can't handle that yet.
Yeah.
And then the other one we've been playing is Angry Birds, which if you played the mobile game, if you imagine that but in 3 dimensions, so you can kind of move around to different vantage points, and you've got to kind of like you control the slingshot of the birds, just ace.
Yeah, you
Such
sent
a
me that
laugh.
one too. I mean, literally, people. I have so many VR things on our Discord chat. I mean, I was like, what is he like? What is he? Is that an arrow? And then like you let go, and I was like, oh, it's Angry Birds. Okay, yeah.
So, very, I get through that quicker. The games that I've been playing on the Xbox. So while I was away, as I said, one of my friends, the youngest son, took his Series S with him, which is a very nice console. It's the first one I've ever seen in real life, and
I've been
it
telling you
really
this
is.
for a year now, Sean. And you should. Did you
Yeah.
not believe me?
So
Just
as
kidding.
like as my wife's friend's husband was taking it out of the box and stuff, I was like, oh, give me a hand. I want to have a hold of it, and I want to like have a look around it. And I was like, this is really for how big the Series X is, which is hiding over here, how big that is compared to how big the Series S is. I'm like, wow.
It's amazing.
um, it must have saved a lot of room not having the disc and having the cooling because of the discs and stuff like that. But yeah, very nice, very subtle console for how powerful it is. So I had a quick go on FIFA 21 and came to the same conclusion I did when I last played FIFA, which was probably like FIFA 15. I do not do football games. It's just not for me. I understand the sport. I just I can't play it as a video game. It's not great. I had another little go of Forza Horizon 5, which kind of drew me back in. I managed to put my account on his console. I kind of give it a password. I gave it a button combination password, so like he
Hmm.
can't use it again because I completely forgot when we left it to want to delete my account on
Yeah.
there. And I played that for a little bit. Kind of showed them what the game was actually about because the kids were kind of just driving a car and driving into everything. And I was like, no, you kind of like this is how the game plays, and this is like how you unlock. They're like, I really want to get more cars like you, and I was like, well, you have to do these races. If you do this race, you'll get this car. And so I did a little bit of kind of teaching of how to play. And then yesterday night, you played this too, but you played it for a hell of a lot longer than I did because you did a stream for an hour and a half stream of this. I played Pedestrian, which um, very nice concept of the game. Just I got to the first like button switch puzzle where you had to get platforms to raise to a certain point, and I kept getting stuck, and I got really annoyed, so I turned it off.
It- So what part were you stuck at?
It's the first one where you kind of there's 3 stickers. You've got 2 switches where you have to climb down a ladder, and then there's 2 movable platforms. And you've kind of got to raise them to a certain point. And I could get them to the right levels, but I kept getting my guy stuck,
Huh.
and I
I
couldn't
can't.
figure out how to get him unstuck.
Don't remember off the top of my head exactly, but yeah, no, so this game I really just adored. I'll finish it on stream, maybe tomorrow if all things go well. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Um, it's so what oh boy. It's a 2D puzzle game where you walk like the pedestrian guy, like you walk like the guy that's like on the pedestrian signs. And you connect the different entrances and exits, and you connect to different ladders, and that's how you get from point A to point B in the signs. It's really difficult to explain, quite frankly, but it's a little mind bendy at time, especially when, like, at one point I had eight, I believe, eight signs
Yeah,
I had to move around.
and you were having to overlap them to go
Yeah,
through the archways and stuff. And I watched the stream. I watched like maybe I skipped a bit that I got to, and then um, watched from there on, and I was like, wow, this game gets really intense really quickly. So
yeah, yeah. It really
in
does.
terms of the puzzles ramping up.
Yeah, but it's great. Like when you you feel like a boss when you figure it out, which is exactly what you want from a puzzle game. Like you want to feel like, wow, I've done something amazing, and they do that. Um, so I'm interested to see. I've heard that it's only like a 4 hour game. I'm about an hour and a half in, so I'm just gonna bust through it. Now, when I looked on how long to beat, there was no like extra stuff, but I kept saying on stream that it seems like I was running past stuff that I should have been able to get to. So I don't know if that's true, and maybe people just haven't found it yet. But there seems like there are extras that maybe are there. I was kind of just running through, going from puzzle to puzzle. So we'll see where that takes me. Um, but yeah, Pedestrian is pretty awesome. Do you have anything else?
No, I mean the thing that really sold me with Pedestrian was the backgrounds.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So I'm just quite quickly trying to look on speedrun at what's the fastest time, or if there's a
Oh man, yeah, that's crazy. I'm definitely not gonna make that time, but I'm sure it's probably like an hour and a half, probably. Um,
yeah. So, but yeah, the fact that like you start in like a factory and you kind of like on the warning signs and you gradually make your way out of there and yeah.
yeah,
So
it's pretty darn cool.
um,
I'm a big fan.
wow, the fastest time with any percentage, 11 minutes 48 seconds.
What? 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 To finish the game?
To finish the game with any percentage, 11 minutes and 48 seconds.
They had to have found like some kind of loophole or something, because there is no way. Even if you know every single like puzzle by heart, there's no way you can get through all those puzzles in 11 minutes. So
to
they had to
finish it
find some type of
where you
loophole.
to finish it where you've played all levels, 37 minutes.
Okay, maybe I could see that. But man, that's crazy. That's just nuts. That whole speedrun thing just blows my mind. I'll never
Yeah.
I'll never be able to understand it completely, but I think it's awesome that people do it. For me, two games past Pedestrian that I've been playing. Lake. I want to say this is the first game that I have played completely on the cloud. 100%. Granted, it was on my console, but I never downloaded it. It was completely streamed. So that's a first for me. I was pretty excited about that. And then also, this game is a narrative-based game where you play as Meredith Weiss. She's kind of, she is kind of a, well, she's a digital programmer back in 1986. She comes home to play as, or to take over for her dad as a postal person, postal worker, and you have to deliver these packages and talk to these people, solve problems. In the end of the game, you get to choose if Meredith should go back to her fancy programming job, if what she should do. And it's a fun story. It's an interesting story. I would have liked to seen a little bit more in the postal side of things. I know that that's just like the canvas to get to the narrative story and talk to characters, but still, it was like I could take as long as I wanted. If I flipped the van, they were just like, oops, and it just flipped back over. It just seemed a little too like I would have liked to had a little bit more on that side of things, like been timed in some way, or have to worry about how much gas is in the vehicle, or I don't know, something like that would have been a little bit more interesting to me. But so that's Lake. And then my last game, this one took me by storm today. I have played way too much of this game today. Um, I was going through what people were interested in 2022, what the different podcasts, Xbox podcasts I follow were interested in 2022, and the game that kept coming up as a surprise to me was Slime Rancher 2. And I was like, really? People are that interested in Slime Rancher 2 in 2022? Like that's their big game? Like that's on their top 10 of games interested? So, I was like, all right, I'm going to download Slime Rancher and see what this is all about. Y'all, this is a Nick game. Like this is like a Harvest Moon first person shooter with a little bit of vacuuming, which by the way, I can't seem to get away from that mechanic in games apparently, because I just played the Gunk and that was all about vacuuming and like spitting stuff out, and that's exactly what this is. Like this is, you get this little thing and you vacuum up slimes and you can spit them out. You can vacuum up vegetables and you can spit them out. I just can't seem to get away from the vacuum mechanic in games, but it's a ton of fun. they don't hold your hand. They kind of give you the very very basics, and then they say go ranch some slimes. I gotta tell you, I had this, was like, I got this is easy. So I get all these slimes, I throw them in these little corrals, and then there's a day night mechanic in the game. You have to sleep at some point in the game, and so I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning, and all my slimes, because I didn't feed them, had like climbed out of the corral, and they were like eating each other. It was a mess, man. It was like utter chaos. I was like, oh, I didn't realize how. Okay, there's actual strategy in this game, so I'm loving that game. If you like those kind of, I don't even know how to. It's just a creative, explore, figure out the mechanics on your own. You're kind of making this ranch as you go. You keep unlocking new slimes, new areas as you gain money. It's a lot of fun. I'd say give it a try. It's on Game Pass, obviously. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are
That kind of segues into the last game that I was playing,
Oh, you
which I
played
played
another one?
before. Yeah, I didn't talk about this yet. Um, I played it literally before we went and started podcasting. Is Firewatch or the Firewatch?
Oh, sorry. I didn't
Um,
mean to cut you off, pal. My bad.
no, it's cool. We played the same game, so it's
Sure.
kind of good to spin it and stuff. Um, so yeah, this again is one of those where you kind of there is a little bit of a tutorial and you've got to press this button to climb down this and press this button. But it's a very good storytelling game. You start off playing Henry and it's all first person. You're kind of walking through the wilderness and it keeps jumping backwards and forwards um, to a bit of a narrative scene where it's you kind of talking about how you met your wife and how you kind of picked the dog that you guys had and you can kind of choose the conversation, so like at some points you can choose whether or not you like you do something nice or you do something not nice, um, which is quite nice, which is quite good. And the whole time you're walking through the wilderness up to the Firewatch station, which you are positioned at. And as you get closer to the Firewatch station, it kind of tells you a bit more. You go into more depth of the story of how Henry's ended up at this Firewatch station, and his wife, at the young age of 31, has early onset with Alzheimer's, and the being able to care for her gets too much, and he kind of ships her off to Australia back with the family, and takes up this job as a Firewatch in the middle of nowhere. Um, you kind of you're in radio contact with somebody called Delilah, and she's really funny, and the conversations you have between them two are really funny, and you can kind of choose how you respond to some stuff. And so far, what I played of it, it's a really, really nice game. The music's really nice and chilled. You kind of have there's no waypoint markers, so you kind of like having to constantly check your map and your compass and try and orienteer your way through the park which you're looking after. And so yeah.
I was
He's
wondering that same
not.
thing, Ebusel. I was like, where's this going, man? Yeah, Ebusel says cheating on your wife?
So no, he's not doing that. I've literally just got to the discussion parts about his wife with Delilah, and you can either choose that you don't want to talk about it, or you can be vague, or you can kind of like be honest and open and say, yeah, I'm married, but my wife's ill and she's with a family in Australia. And
So what you're saying is you get to choose if you're going to cheat on your wife.
I don't know. I haven't got that far
That's where I bet it's going.
yet. So,
No, it
but
sounds
like,
cool though, man.
there's loads of little cash boxes as you're going around, and you kind of getting to know a story about the guy that is previous to you as well.
Mm.
But at the same time, so like on day one, while you're there, you kind of see fireworks going off, and you kind of go and investigate these fireworks, and you end up seeing two teenage girls that are skinny dipping in a lake, and you kind of like pick up their boombox and you kind of turn it off, and you have an interaction where obviously they're naked in this lake, and you're kind of like shouting at them for letting fireworks off, and so like that's day one, and now I'm on like day 64, and two teenage girls have reported missing that were like known to be in the area prior to that. So yeah, and there's a few other bits as well that I don't want to spoil it for people that miss it.
Mm.
So
Wait, you're on day C. You in like an hour went through 64 days, or
yeah,
is
it
it not
skips
day
quite
day? Is it
quickly.
not
Like
day after day?
yeah, you play all of day one, you play all of day 2, you play some of day 3, and then it like jumped to day 15, then it jumped to day 19, then jumped to day 33. It's kind of like how the story
Okay.
progresses about your time in the Watchtower.
Okay. All right. All right. That makes sense.
And to answer your question, Hambo, we have finished It Takes Two yet.
I have not. I'm sorry. But I'm going to because it's my gall darn resolution to finish games. So we're gonna finish it. Just not sure when.
Yeah. Well, we'll try. Uh, um, I will have a look at our schedule over the next few weeks and try and figure it out.
I like it. I agree.
And to answer your question of yourself, I've one big fire so far.
Just one fire.
Which is I literally got to it. Literally got to that fire just as I had to turn off ready to start doing the podcast. So.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I know it's been out on Switch for a while. I've seen it, thought about getting it a couple times. So yeah, that's cool. We'll have to no, that's how all the fire that's how all the wildfires start over here in America is by gender reveal parties. Did you know that, Sean? have you
Yeah.
have you heard
I
these
saw
stories?
that on the news. It was quite big.
Okay,
It was the California fire. That wasn't.
Yeah. There was two different ones that started with a stupid gender reveal party. Just cut a cake, man. That's what we did. It worked just fine. Stop doing crazy stuff. Which I guess also just thoughts and prayers to those in Colorado. That was not a gender reveal party. Doesn't sound like, but they are going through a whole bunch of crap right now. So,
yeah, definitely.
So wait, what happened?
And we both now lost our train of thought.
I got broke. What happened to the questions are gone? We had all the questions in here, and now they're not here. Do you have them in Discord?
Yes, I do. I will jump across.
All right, Discord. I'll let you do that, and I'll talk about new releases while you get that prepped. Gorogoa is a puzzler game. I've not played it, just to be legit. I've not played that game, but it's a type of puzzle game. I heard somebody, I can't remember who, talking about it on Twitter, saying it was pretty good. Gears 5 Game of the Year edition. I feel like I want to try this. I'm probably not gonna like it, but I feel like I want to at least put some time into it. And it's been a long time. I don't think I've played Gears since the very first one, so I'd love to see where it's come from that very first Gears. And then Olinja, is it Olinja? You play, it's I think a 2D top-down game. You play as you have like a spear and you're adventuring and looking around. So those are out. Those are out now. They were out as of Monday, I believe. We got those. They were silent drops too. I mean, they told us about them, but not until after, which isn't normally how Xbox does things. So I'll let you take over party chat unless you got something to say about those.
They must have all woken up from the New Year hangover and gone, oh crap.
We put those on pre-install, darn it. We never told them we were even doing it.
So our first question from the Discord is from Justin Masson, good old business Justin. Where can I get sweet Game Pass deals? Is there a time to look for deals? What do you use? I've heard people say they are paid up until December 2022. I'm assuming that it's a case of shop around. I haven't seen any deals. I know you can sometimes be a bit savvy with your 3 months here and 3 months there.
Yeah, I mean, so the problem is, I don't know what the deals look like in Canada. Like that's the issue. So we now know, Justin and I actually did a little test. We now know cards that I buy here are no good in Canada. Which is also, by the way, if you have not seen us do 3 months of Game Pass contests, it's something Sean and I have to talk about. The cards we're handing out aren't any good to people in other countries, and it becomes a real issue. So that's why we haven't seen any of those. That's why you haven't seen any more of those 3-month contests that we've been doing, or that we were doing in the beginning. So what I do here in America is, I think Target was the last one I got, and I got Target's deal for a steal, man. 3 months of Ultimate, normally $45. I think I got it at $25 for 3 months. I bought 3 cards, so yeah, I mean, is a really good deal. Normally you can get them at third. Normally you can get them like right around 30 $30. Yeah, normally you can get them right around $30. I got them from Amazon once. I think I got them from Amazon once, Best Buy once, and Target once. So I do not know what the sales look like in Canada. That's the only problem. Um, Justin is good friends with Mr. Sean Capri. He should probably know all about that. I know he's paid up forever, probably just because he's cool and Xbox is like, here, you're really awesome, Sean Capri. You don't ever have to pay for Game Pass.
Yeah.
But maybe he's buying cards. I don't know. Um, so yeah, he would have unfortunately, better knowledge than I would about what's going on in Canada and the best deals. But that's what you do here in the
Yeah.
States. And the
I don't
time of the
see much
year,
of
sorry, the time of the year, Black Fridays, right before Black Fridays, in July, Christmas sales, and then I feel like I also got one. I feel like I also had an E3 sale that I got a second time. So those are time of years that I picked them up. Sorry.
you might see that when they eventually do drop the Ubisoft stuff, that they might have one then as well to kind
Yep.
of entice people into buying both at the same time. So
Yep.
I check your big game retailers. I don't know if it's still Target and stuff like that and GameStop in Canada, but over here in get like at Game UK, I very rarely see a deal for Game Pass. Very rarely.
Yeah.
That's why I pay my $11.99 a month and just suck it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I really don't know what it looks like in other countries, but I do know that it is available in Canada because I've heard Sean talk about being super far ahead. So I do know those deals exist in Canada, but I don't know where they're
So
at.
I'm assuming then with the ones that you bought, when you buy three at a time, you can stack them. So you kind of like
Oh
just
yeah.
put all the codes in and it
Mhm.
just overlaps. All right, okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm out until I think February of 2023 right now. So,
Nice.
yeah, yeah, and like I said, I got 9 months for $75, which should have cost me what, $135. So,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
That's quite a good save. The next question comes from Hambo and Johnny, who's in the live chat. Good or bad? What was your biggest surprise or the thing from Xbox that shocked you the most from 2021? And for me, I can
I
do
should
this is
look at
very quick.
these.
I could do this. I
Do
could
it.
do this very quickly.
Do it.
Um, dropping like Halo and Forza
Mm.
Horizon 5 so close to each other, but also dropping them so you could get them for free because they're big name games from the Microsoft studios to have them both free for Game Pass users was great. So that was a positive shock. And then the negative shock is putting them so close together that I didn't know which one I wanted to play most.
Um, so I have two, and I at first I thought this was you. I mean, it wasn't a shock. It's like a long-standing shock that all this stuff drops on Game Pass, like Forza and Halo. But I know it's there. They've said they're gonna do it, so they're gonna do it. Um, Getting Halo multiplayer as early as we did as a surprise drop, I never thought that was going to happen in that 20th anniversary stream. Never in a million years. I had heard the rumors. Um, Actually, even Justin was like, "Hey, I hear this is going to happen. You might want to do this." That's the only reason I was on air because Justin was like, "You might want to go on air because I hear might be a thing." Because I really was like, "This is never gonna like they're not gonna drop this game this early." But that was a big shock. It also shocks me how much they've leaned into xCloud this year. That would be my other big one. They really like from from the E3 conference, they were like Cloud, xCloud, Game Pass xCloud, Game Pass xCloud, and it was like all of a sudden right there I realized, oh, they're in. This isn't just like a fun little thing they're doing. Beta dropped, it's out, and everything was coming out on xCloud. So, those are probably my two big shockers for this year.
Cool. Yeah. And I can agree with that one about the xCloud, but I can also see that given with things like Stadia and Stream and what's the other one? The Amazon googly one.
Oh,
Amazon
Luna.
Luna. Yeah, that's the one. The one that nobody ever really talks about.
Yeah, yeah. The one
So,
that Jesse has a controller for and has never and doesn't ever really play at all.
yeah. So Chris HL94 asks, what is the most affordable way to get into Xbox Game Pass, and will it play NHL 94 Rewind?
The most affordable way to do that is the Series S because it's not on the cloud. So that is the most affordable way to do it, Chris, is to buy a Series S
Yeah,
and
buy the
hop on Game
cheaper of the
Pass.
consoles and do it that way.
Oh wait, is it on PC? I don't know. That would be cheaper. That would be cheaper
I'm just
if.
I'm just jumping into the
Okay,
Game
cool.
Pass app now
All right, yeah,
while we're
because I
talking about it. But yeah,
yeah.
so the cheapest. So let's break this down. This is a two-part question. So we'll answer the first part, which is dead easy. Buy a controller. Doesn't have to be this controller because it's an expensive controller compared to a normal one. But go and buy yourself a fancy colored controller from Xbox for $60.
Go buy the
And
Game Pass edition of the Xbox. So,
there we go.
excuse me, my I don't know how my
And
things work.
and then go and basically download the Explorer app and play it that way. That's the cheapest way.
Or you can always just play on your phone too. You don't even, I mean, you could just get a backbone and play on your phone. You don't even need to get a backbone. You can just play on your phone. But I suggest getting a backbone.
But to answer the second part, the only way to do it is to buy an Xbox One. If you can find a
Oh
pretty good
yeah.
condition Xbox One, NHL 94 Rewind will play on there. If you're not interested in buying the new console, or can't get hold of the new console because they're like rocking horse shit. So yeah, either buy an X, buy an S, buy a One, and sign up to Game Pass.
Chris, you could buy an Xbox One. You could do that. I bet.
Yeah.
Find one on Facebook Marketplace for cheap, maybe? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they're actually super expensive. I don't really know. I haven't looked. So I say that.
I don't know if you guys have like, can you trade consoles in at like GameStop and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah. I can't imagine. I really now I'm interested to know how much is an Xbox One actually going for right now. I'm looking it up on Facebook
Less than
Marketplace.
$150 easy.
All right, here we go. You should buy an S. I mean, you got one here for 150. Most of them are at the $200 mark. Yep,
Yeah.
most
So
of them.
for like 100, yeah, drop on a good deal. Find shop around, get a good deal for Series S. Go that way then, and you'll probably find that when you get your Series S, you could probably find a decent bundle that has Game Pass free for 3 months anyway.
Yeah, yeah, most of
I know
them
when
sitting.
I know Lindsay's friends when they got their Series S, he's got Game Pass free for 12 months as a part of the bundle, which was quite a good deal to get. I kind of stirred them in that direction as well.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Yeah, still $200 for an Xbox One. I didn't think it'd be that much. There you go.
I've got one in the garage, the original day launch Xbox One, sat in the garage. Just needs a new power adapter. So, find a cheap power adapter and I'll try and mail that one out to you, but I can't promise how good condition it'll be when it gets there because postal services suck. And the last question comes from SAZ. Does the price of Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate go up this year? And what price point does it stop being universally hailed as being the best deal in gaming? We kind of covered this.
Dang, that's a good question though.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to go up this year?
I don't think the price of Game Pass on its own will.
On its own, not with the Ubisoft thing we talked about.
No, I don't think it'll go up on their own. I think they've got it kind of, it's a very well priced boundary. And a lot of the big games they're bringing out are their own. So.
Yeah, but they're also not profitable yet.
Yeah, but Netflix isn't profitable, is it? Netflix is in stupid amounts of debt because they keep making really expensive programs to try and bring more people in, and
that's true.
They've barely raised the price. So,
man, that's a really tough question. It's a good question. So when is it no longer profitable? I think let's go with Ultimate. Let's just stick with Ultimate, which is EA Play, xCloud, and Game Pass, all wrapped up in a nice little bundle. It's pretty much everything. Um,
Yeah.
and I guess you could say it's Xbox Live too, or Xbox Gold. It gives you everything that they've got. Right now, it's $15. I say if you could do it 19.99, and I'd still say, yeah, it's a solid deal. In fact, I actually just said this on Twitter. I actually just agreed with somebody on Twitter that said this. Um, Once you get to 24.99, then I'm like, like, do I want to do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's yeah. I'm the same. I pay 11.99, and that's for my gold and the ultimate subscription to everything. And yeah, I mean, I pay what, £16 a month for Spotify Family. I pay about the same for Netflix Family because everybody uses it. I get my Amazon Prime for free as long as I keep moving my ass around. And I pay yearly for Disney Plus. So if you want to combine all those in, it's probably about £30, £35 a month that I pay. Could I stretch another £10, £15? Probably £50 a month for all my streaming kind of subscription services. Yeah. Any more than that, and it just becomes like it becomes too expensive, especially with Game Pass, because there is a lot of games on there, but is there a lot of games on there that I want to give a lot of time to play? So
right.
every now and then we find a game like you found Grounded, and I found Firewatch, or what else have we got? Lonely Mountains is probably the only other big one that I keep saved all the time. So I mean, the reason why I wanted a Series X in the whole first place is that game there, and I don't play it anymore.
I do remember
Fact,
that. That was a long time ago, and I remember that.
I haven't actually played it. I've never launched it on the Series X.
Have you ever? But did you play it on your one? No, you couldn't play it on the one. It was broken.
I played it on the One S. It was broken.
Yeah.
And then I got the Series X. And when I got the Series X, we were doing Game Pass. So I never kind of
That's
time
funny.
to play it. So it sits there. Game I bought and never played.
Yeah, I mean, they really got to look at how much does a game cost? When is it going to be for people that they say, yeah, there's a lot of games here, but they're not I'm not going to be able to get through enough of them to make it worth my effort. Once you get to $30, I don't think it's there.
Yeah, and it's not the lack of diversity of games, because there is a huge diversity of games on it. So you've got RPGs, JRPGs, you've got first-person shooters, platformers, third-person shooters, horrors, sports, racing. There is a plethora of games out there. It's just some of them aren't top-name games. Some of them are like sneakily great games from small developers, but it's like you say, it's that balance.
Yeah, it really is. Then you look at that holiday sale, and that's when the holiday sale really shines, right? Then you say, well, all right, great. For $50 here, I can pick up Valhalla and Far Cry, which probably will keep me for 2 to 3 months. So then I guess what I do is I play these games and I drop Game Pass, which is now $20 a month, and sure, look at there you go. I'm good. So yeah, once you get past 20, I really don't see it at that point, and I think it'll stop being hailed as a great deal, and it'll start being looked at in a totally different light.
Yeah, and I completely agree. It becomes the point where it's too expensive for what you're getting. So, especially when you can just buy a game that
it's not for what you're
like
getting.
Far Cry.
Go ahead, sorry.
Especially for things like if you can buy Far Cry, if you can drop on a good deal for Far Cry and get that for like $25 to $30, that game I can guarantee you will give you around 60 hours worth of gameplay.
Yeah,
just going and doing all the. If you're a completionist, so if you want to play the game through, do all the side quests, like collect all the collectibles, you will play that game for about 60 hours.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. It's not really for what you're getting. I still think it'd be a good deal for what you're getting. It's for what you can consume, right? Like, I mean, that's the real problem. It's like, well, great. I think all this stuff you've given me is fantastic, but you can look at somebody and say, here's 50 gallons of spaghetti and all you have to pay is $20, but you have to eat it now. Well, sure, look at that's great. I can't eat 50 gallons of spaghetti right now. So it's not it doesn't like that money doesn't work out the way, even though it seems like a good deal, it doesn't work out.
Just I like how every time we talk about Game Pass, we always use the analogy of food. And like when you
Cuz
were
it's like a
saying
big
how much you can,
buffet.
yeah, exactly. And I was just about to say, depending on how much you can consume, how much would you pay in going like to an all-you-can-eat buffet? Like I wouldn't pay much more than like £15 a head for an all-you-can-eat buffet because I know for a fact I could eat £15 worth of food, easy peasy. Could I eat £20 worth of food? Maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah, you're totally right. That's why like I go to a buffet and I'm like not anymore though, right? Because we're trying to be healthy, right? So we're not doing that anymore. But back in the day, we I go to a buffet and be like, great, I'll get my money's worth out of this easy. But my mom's like, I'm not going to a buffet. Like I eat like one plate and I'm full, so I have no reason to go to a buffet. So that's kind of it's that same deal. It's like, well, yes, all this is worth $25-$30 a month, but I can't consume enough of it to pay that price. So I'm out. So yeah.
And that's all the questions. They were good questions. So thank you
Very
very
good. Thank
much
you
to our
guys.
listeners and the Discord community for all that. Just rattle through the golden ticket pretty quick. Things that stay the same is Tropico 5 is still available until January 15th. There is 2 new games available, which from now until the 31st is Neuro Voider. That dollars, so that's a pretty good deal. And the other game, which runs to the 15th of January, is Radiant Silver Gun. And that again was around the $15 mark, so it's a pretty good one to drop on. Games that are coming up, so from January 16th, which I assume is when Tropico disappears, right through until February 15th, is Aground and Space Invaders Infinity Gene. That's the same, 16th of January till around the 31st of January.
I have nothing to say about any of those. Not a thing.
No, Space Invaders Gene, just for nostalgia of playing Space Invaders, might be okay to look at, but the rest of them, no. Even the write-ups for them didn't sound interesting, so
Yeah.
that's why I haven't brought them in this week.
So what is on the horizon? Well, let me tell you. On the horizon is January 6th, Outer Wilds. Which is interesting. This is a boomerang game at this point. That's what we're gonna start calling these. I don't know. I just made that up. It's the game that came off. It was there, came off, and now it's back. Which it's also. Go ahead.
I wonder why they do that. I wonder what has caused them to bring it back.
Yeah, that actually is a fantastic question. I'd love to know if it's.
Because wasn't Outer Wilds the game that the developers hadn't seen any monies for?
No. That's the people's something for the shooter game. The shooter game that came out. Why can't I not think of the name of that game? It's not in my brain, but it was one of the first like Xbox Series games that was exclusive, and I cannot think of it. I'm sorry. But yeah, so Outer Wilds was supposed to come to the Switch. I assumed that maybe that played a role into it, but then it got delayed. So I wonder if that's part. I wonder if that's part of the deal as well, because I don't believe it's out on the Switch yet. It was supposed to be here now. I want to make sure. Nope, no, I might be wrong. Nope, no, available as TBD. It was supposed to be out this year, and then it got delayed, and now it doesn't even have a year attached to it. So that might be part of the reason that is the way it is. But that's just a guess. I have no actual knowledge if that's true or not. So Ember is also coming out January 6th. Do you know anything about Ember?
No, other than it's a nice little platform-looking game. That's about as much as I can tell you. I did have a load of tabs open earlier to kind of discuss these. Bear with me.
I got to it if
Yeah, so fight fires with
okay.
friends for profit in this unpredictable and frantic multiplayer game. Team up with friends, take on daily challenges, and climb to the top of the corporate firefighting ladder. More than one way to become a hero.
So it looks like it's kind of got your type, that physics type to it, that floppy physics.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that's what it. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm just looking at a picture, but it looks floppy physics to me. So join Ember, which no, it doesn't stand for that. Emergency Services Revolution, and become an Ember responder. It's a silly game for sure. Um, sorry, excuse me. Mass Effect is also coming out. Actually, and we say January 6th. This is going to be out by the time people are listening to our podcast. This will be out
So
tomorrow. Yeah, I just
Tomorrow,
realized
innit?
that. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, January 6th. I really want to be there for Hambone Johnny and play this game. He bought it and was like telling me it was a good game and I should give it a shot. So I really want to try hard to put it on my list of games to play. So we'll see if I can get to it. But now that I found Slime Rancher, I don't know. I don't know if I can get to it. Sorry, Hambone Johnny.
I think I always get Mass Effect and there's another game that's in space. I always get them two mixed up. One was a horror kind of based game, but I think I always get these two mixed up.
He said I should play Mass Effect 2. That was the best way to start. Maybe I could do that. I think I could probably get through that. We'll see. We'll see. Anna Crucis. I'm actually interested in this game. This is a first-person shooter co-op. Join in. It has procedurally generated 3D map. You got to fight off all these aliens. I'm gonna say it has a Back for Blood feel to it, but not in the fact that it's zombies, blah blah blah. It has not. It's got none of that. It's got more of a. It's got more. It's an alien type shooter, but it has the feel of like you're joining up with a team and you're seeing how far you can get. The players have different specs and special effects and specials that they can do. So yeah, that one looks pretty cool. January 18th. Well, let me go January 13th. Sorry, I didn't realize I shoved that in between. My bad. Spelunky 2, which I'm going to have to give a shout to this one and try it. I have never tried Spelunky 2. I thought about buying it on the Switch. And then I had a bunch of people say it was super hard and not that it wasn't very much fun, but that it was super hard and that they just didn't want to put the time into it. And I thought, well, I probably don't want to either. So, but I'll try it on Xbox on Game Pass. Why not?
Yeah, a challenging roguelike platformer.
Yeah, there you go.
Normally when we get roguelike, we kind of go.
Yep. It's true. It's true. So maybe we need to get a roguelike professional on here to talk about it for us. Dead Space. Is it Dead Space? Hambone Johnny wants
Dead
to know.
Space, that's the one. Yes,
He's
which is
there
a
for
great
you.
game. Thank you. But yeah, Dead Space is. They're the two that get mixed up. And don't get them mixed up because Dead Space is a horrifically horrifying game, and I don't think Mass Effect is.
This one is exciting to me. Nobody Saves the World, an action RPG game brought on by Drinkbox, the same people that do Guacamelee, has kind of silently come out as it will be a Game Pass game as of January 18th. So I'm really interested in what this will be. I don't have a ton to tell you about it because I don't know a ton about it. But Nobody Saves the World. Take a look at it. If you're into Drinkbox, Guacamelee type stuff. You might want to at least take a look. I don't know how similar the genres are going to be, but well, not similar, because this is an action RPG. But you might want to take a look at it. And that's what's on the horizon for us. Anything you want to chat about real quick before we head on out?
No, I'm just having a quick look at some of the 2D top-down. All right, cool. That actually looks like quite a nice game to play. Does Nobody
Yeah.
Saves the World? I saw the tweet from it earlier that you stuck out, but between putting the children to bed and putting the wife to bed because her back is absolutely killing her at the moment.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's kind of like I haven't had a chance to look into much.
Yeah. Well, I hope
But
you can
it's
feel
interesting. Yeah, interesting art style. I quite like the art style.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
empty eyes. But anyway. No, the only thing is, there's a couple of things leaving January 15th. So Desperados free, Ghost of a Tale, Kingdom Hearts free, which is probably going to make a lot of people cry out there.
Yeah.
Mountain Blade, Warbade, Pandemic, and Yeek, a postmodern RPG. They're all leaving soon, January 15th. So if you are interested in any of those games, you probably won't get Kingdom Hearts finished unless you start it now and maybe play it nonstop until the 15th of January. You'll probably get through the game, but I'm
Let's
not
be
making
honest.
any
Anybody who
promises.
wanted to play Kingdom Hearts 3 has played it by now. I guarantee it. Anybody who's like, oh, darn, I just hadn't got to that one, and I really. No, I don't see that happening.
Yeah. So, no. But no, that's it. I mean, I am going to try and play more Xbox games. I do promise. I'm going to try and finish Firewatch. It's because I have started it. I'm going to finish it, as that's quite a nice joint New Year's resolution from us both.
Yeah.
I'm also going to try and beat Beat Saber. There is a campaign to it, so I'm going to give that a go. Wish I could just stream it. I wish I could stream that. It's so funny because
That
I
would be
have
cool
no.
if you could.
I think I'm really good and I've got Riven. I'm like, yeah, I'm hitting all the boxes. I'm not missing any, but I bet I look like a spider having an epileptic fit.
We need to make that. What are these things? Twitch points or something? We need to find a way to make that Twitch points. Like if you give enough Twitch points, Sean will stream him playing Beat Saber. I don't know. I think we got to work on it.
Yeah, I do need to look at those Twitch points.
Maybe we'll do a YouTube video of Sean playing Beat Saber. That'd be easier than doing it
Yeah,
live.
yeah, because I don't have the capacity to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I have lots of technology, but the main bit that connects everything together is absolutely rubbish. So, but yeah, but no, that's it. It was nice to see you again. It's nice.
Yeah,
I'm
same
glad
to
you had a
you,
good
man.
holiday, and I'm glad, other than you feeling a little bit sinusy, I'm glad that you're doing well. So, what about the kids? Did they have a good time? I completely forgot to ask. We discussed us as big kids, but like, did
Yeah,
the
that's
little
all that
kids have a good time?
matters. Who cares what those kids do? They had a great Christmas. They had a lot of fun. They got a ton of stuff. Noah Santa got Noah Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, I think. Is that the blue one? Um so what do you Oh, did he get like a car set? Is that what he got?
He got all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Isn't that a problem? Oh my gosh. I think we have that. I think we have that garage thing. I'm pretty sure, or at least
Yeah,
he did. Yeah. Yeah,
Hot
he had
Wheels
the.
Ultimate
So
Garage.
for
Yeah.
you guys on the podcast, Sean just showed me a bunch of Logan stuff, toys that he got that is in the living room. Toys in the living room just drives me insane. I'm not gonna lie, but there's no other place for
No,
some of them to go.
I took the Christmas decorations down on Tuesday, and I dragged all the toys out of the living room because obviously it's glitter everywhere from Christmas, and bits of Christmas tree and bits of tinsel and just crap everywhere. And so I dragged it all out and I hoovered everything, and it was like absolutely spotless. And I looked around and thought, this is what my living room could be like. And then I
I
had to
know,
drag
I know.
everything
Trust
back
me,
in, and it suddenly looked like a
trust me.
bloody toy shop. So yeah, very quick. Thank you very much to Hambone for the 100 bits.
Yeah,
Always
thanks,
nice to get
man.
bits.
Thanks for your support. We really appreciate you.
We we are slowly, and I know we say this quite often, we are slowly trying to figure out what everything does with Twitch. Now we're an affiliate. We will get there. We will have different things for you. So,
Yep, yeah, we got plans. We're working on it. Sure.
yeah, watch this space. So so yeah, anyway, as always, our socials are at Game Pass News. That's Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. If you want to email us, you can chuck us an email at gamepassnewscast@gmail.com. There is now a feedback function in Spotify, and what was the other app that people were
Oh,
talking about?
Podchaser.
Podchaser, yes.
Yeah, we're on Podchaser now. Thank you, Tim. You helped me. I figured it out. I put you down as the reference, by the way, that got me on Podchaser. So Neoprime 33.
So hopefully you get something nice for that. Yeah,
that's right.
So you can now give us feedback on those, which is awesome. The star rating system on Spotify is fantastic. You do have to have listened to episodes to give that feedback, as I learned today when I tried to give another one feedback, but I haven't listened to the entire episode. You can head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads if you want to chat with us in the Discord. And thank you very much to Hammer and Johnny for your bits, Ebusel, and Simple
We
Monk
love
for
your
joining us
bits,
in the
Sambo Johnny.
we love your bits. And Simple Monk for the subscribe during tonight's episode. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you are having a good start to the new year, and we hope to hear from you soon. So until next time, we'll see you later.
See you later, guys. Oh.